Quit my job on the second day because my login code isn't working. Showed up on my first day. They told me my login wasn't working, but that they would log my hours. I performed an 8-hour shift. Showed up for a second day. Once again they told me my login wasn't working. I spent 2 hours working. I talked to the store manager. She said she wasn't able to log my hours. She said only the district manager can log my hours, but that the DM hardly ever shows up to the restaurant. Sorry, but I absolutely, positively, 100% do not trust some random person I've never met before to track my hours. So I left the restaurant, went across the street, and applied to another job. Not gonna clock me in? Then I ain't gonna work for you. Edit. I have an interview with this new restaurant on Friday. I literally just walked out without telling anyone. Went across the street, talked to the manager, went home and applied online. Went back and set up an interview 2 days from now. These companies ain't shit. There's millions of jobs out there. I can easily get a job at a place that actually lets me track my hours. 10 hours of wage theft. It's embarrassing a company can't even get their shit together to properly organize things for new employees. If a new worker done this, they would be fired. Don't let them not pay you, dude. Chase them for the pay for those hours you worked. Perfect. Workers market. Find an employer who can handle the extra work of making sure you get paid on time and per your contract. Why doesn't anyone want to work for free anymore? Plus is not a great sign if they don't have your login by the second day. Super unprofessional. What if you showed up for your first shift without the paperwork they said you needed? Or wearing something inappropriate? If companies expect workers to be professional, they need to have their shit together. You need to demand payment for the 10 hours you worked, and if they don't, hit them up with a wage claim with the doll. If they can't handle that, I shudder to think of how they're keeping up with health codes. I understand people saying it seems like an overreaction and it all could have worked out fine. However, the issue is, what if it didn't? This whole sub shows instances time and time again of things going wrong and excuses made to rip off employees. People are here to say, it's the business's responsibility to maintain their systems. Support the worker to have assurance they will be paid correctly. Not wait and see if they're getting screwed over. And create a professional environment that reflects structure. In this instance, they failed to do this. You don't know what has happened to OP in the past regarding wage theft or mistreatment, and it's just as fair to assume they were protecting themselves in this instance versus having a hissy fit. The business dropped the ball here, and if they don't want people walking out over this issue, they're the only ones who can control and avoid this in the future. I didn't have login credentials for anything at my current job for 14 days. That was fun. Just got handed a list of YouTube things to watch related to what I do and stuff. I'm so tired of companies demanding us show up prepared to work, but aren't prepared for us to go to work and then accuse us of not being flexible and not being able to deal with an ever-changing environment. I'm sure many of you have had the same experiences I've had. Going through paid training, then find out on your first side-by-side nearly half what you learned is bullshit. And then, when you finally hit the floor by yourself, you're completely lost, and saying, "We didn't learn this in training," isn't an excuse, and then you find yourself on probation for poor performance. SP. There is a thing in the corp dining business where businesses just don't give waiters training checks. Happened to me 20 years ago as a young waiter. Maybe 4 to 5 times. I have ADHD and missed lots of shifts, so got fired a lot when I was a youth. I was young and just didn't care about myself, so I didn't get what I was owed. Now I do think this is standard practice and you would have got paid here, but my history would say, side with you before you have to prove you worked that time or some other BS. I have seen district managers just cut all the training checks in one go before, like others mentioned getting theirs late. But yeah, many BS labor practices that screw everybody. The best thing to do is keep hitting them like this. They gotta learn to be accountable. I work for a multi-billion-dollar company and sometimes logins don't work for the first day. It is absolutely unheard of for that to hold up pay. This literally happened to my best friend at Bob Evans. He worked 3 to 4 days, but they tried to only pay him $100 in cash with a promise of a small raise when he finally got his check. He was owed a lot more and no paid out. Honestly, worker exploitation in the US is something else. I had the same issue at a minimum wage job here in NZ. My login code wouldn't work and my direct manager just logged my hours for me for an entire fortnight. Thanks for volunteering to work for 10 hours for free. Although it is just 2 halves. You are the best employee of the month. I remember how much boomers used to brag about being able to quit a job and walk down the street and get another one. That was a myth by the time I entered the workforce. This makes me happy. Good on you for not tolerating that shit op. Good luck with the interview. Should have gone in the kitchen and made a real nice to-go meal. I have had similar things happen, but I always got my money. Based on what you said, you overreacted and quit a job after one shift because they had some issues with their computer system. You're now interviewing with a new job. Not sure what the lesson is here.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.